Hi, Bishop Stortford, Paul here from Nested. So step 2 in selling your home is the valuation, the pricing and your strategy for selling your property. So first of all, when you've got your agents coming around, they should be talking to you about the price of your property, and what you want to really see from that is what comparables, what evidence have they got when they come up with their price. So typically you'll get 3 sort of sets of what we call comparables. These will be properties that have sold near your area, so they've actually sold and completed. You'd have some that are sold subject to contract, so they'll be sold, potentially in the last 6 months, but not actually completed. And then you'll have what's actually on the market, what you're actually competing against. So they should show you a summary of these type of properties, and then you really should agree where yours fits in that list, because the valuation and the pricing is really key. Secondly, the actual pricing, what you're going to actually launch it at. So my first tip would be don't overprice. I think the old-fashioned way was maybe put it on for £25,000 more than you think it's worth, and you think you're going to get knocked down, but really all that happens is you don't get any interest. You get very little viewings, very few viewings, and you end up staying on the market 3 or 4 weeks and then end up dropping the price, and it's all proven, as I've said before, to get less for your property. So you really do need to price it to get interest. We particularly like offers over, so you can pitch it maybe slightly lower or slightly competitively and do offers over, and then you're in control of what you accept. And again, ones I've covered in my previous videos is try and always get it on a Rightmove and Zoopla price band. So Rightmove and Zoopla say you get an average about 32% more inquiries if you put it on a band. So going back to the average price of Bishop Stortford at 500,000, the price bands for that sort of area are 475, then it goes to 500, and then it goes to 550. So, for instance, if you think your house is worth 500,000, then pitch it at 500, because people will typically search 450 to 500 and 500 to 550. So you then become, your property gets shown up in 2 searches. If you do the old way of selling, 49995, your property is not going to show up in the 500 to 550 category. So whatever you do, don't let your agent talk you in to being £5 less than a property price band, because that really is an own goal. That's not going to help you. So finally, the strategy. So what I'd be asking my agent when I come around is, what's the launch strategy? What do you do in the first 2 weeks? The first 2 weeks of launching any property is the most critical. That's when you get the most inquiries, most viewings, and if it's priced right, hopefully selling it. So I think 29 days is the average to sell a house in Bishop Stortford at the moment. So you'd ask for their plan. You want to make sure they're on both Rightmove and Zoopla. They're the 2 largest websites, and they cover 99% of the market. Social media is becoming bigger and bigger now, so you'd ask them for what sort of social media plan they've got. You don't want them just to sort of plonk it on their website, get a few views. You want a sponsored campaign, make sure they put it in the local Facebook groups, etc. And then when will they launch it? Will they have a launch day? So what I always recommend is, we found that Fridays, if you launch the property on a Friday, we've got the most interest. And then we used to do a launch day, or we do a launch day the following weekend. So give it about 8 days and have a launch day on Saturday or a Sunday. And we typically would book 4 hours or maybe 2 to 4 hours out, and then just book the viewings 20-25 minutes, and hopefully you get people coming in, leaving, and creates a real kind of gets the best price for you, basically, because it creates a lot of interest. So that's what we would recommend. Try and sort of give it a week between the launch date and have that typically on a weekend. So they're the 3 things: valuation, pricing and strategy. Tune in for my next step 3 next week. Thanks for watching.